Hello there, I'm Azaria Tagaya and you're watching Nightline. Here are the top stories. PM urges the US to stop supplying weapons to Israel. And Malaysia keeping close eye on recent COVID-19 wave in Singapore. We begin the bulletin with this story. A helicopter carrying Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi suffered a hard landing on Sunday as officials said search operations are underway but were being impeded by poor weather conditions. Local media said the incident occurred near Jolfa in Iran's East Azerbaijan province. It was also reported that 3 helicopters were in the Iranian president's convoy and that the 2 others made it back safely. Several high-ranking officials were in the same helicopter as Raisi, including Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian, while 2 other ministers were safe in the other helicopters. Interior Minister Ahmad Vahidi said various rescue teams were trying to reach the location of the incident within a forested and mountainous zone, but it may take some time due to fog and bad weather conditions. Vahidi confirmed that the radio contact was made with the helicopter, but offered no further details and suggested communication lines have been cut. It remains unclear exactly what caused the hard landing or whether any of the passengers in the helicopter have been hurt. Back at the home front, the Prime Minister has urged the United States to cease supplying weapons to Israel and to use its significant global influence to end the hostilities in Palestine. Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the actions of some Western countries are deemed quite hypocritical as they preach for human rights and democracy while condoning atrocities against an innocent population. In an interview with Al Jazeera on Sunday, Anwar said the international community has made it very clear that authorities and governments, including the US, should do whatever it can for a complete cessation of hostilities to stop the war. He said such rhetoric is quite subtle at times, but the actions seem to be on the contrary. The Prime Minister also stressed that the US has the combined influence, mechanisms and diplomatic skills needed to compel Israel to stop these actions. He added that it is impossible to imagine that one man, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, can dictate world affairs. When asked if he agreed with international human rights groups labeling the US as complicit with Israel in the war in Gaza, Anwar said he could not deny it. He explained that the evident facts make it impossible to condone such atrocities without losing moral standing in international relations, humanity, order and human rights. Anwar also said that he had met with Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh and former Hamas chairman Khalid Mashal, clarifying that his engagement with Hamas is purely diplomatic and political, aimed at persuading them to understand the concerns of others. Police on Sunday released a photo fit of the masked suspect who is believed to have splashed acid on Selangor FC and national footballer Faisal Halim. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein in a statement said the suspect was estimated to be around 30 years old, 165 centimeters tall, has a medium build and tanned skin. He said those with information on the suspect who fixed the description can contact Bukit Aman Classified Crimes Investigation Unit Investigating Officer Inspector Jagachandran Murugesan. Faisal was attacked at a major shopping mall in Petaling Jaya on May 5th, suffering acid burns to several parts of his body, including his face. He has since gone through several surgeries and is said to be responding well to skin allograft procedures. The Health Ministry has assured the public the government is monitoring Singapore's new COVID-19 wave and is ready to handle any increase in diagnosed cases. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad, said Malaysia is unaffected by Singapore's new surge in COVID-19 cases, as the country has only recorded 2 cases of Singapore's dominant variants since March. Dr. Zulkifli, in a post on X, explained that his ministry is enhancing its preparedness in anticipation of a possible increase in cases in Malaysia. He provided the explanation in response to an individual's comment on an infographic post showing a surge of cases in Singapore with a spike of 25,900 new cases between May 5th and 11th. It was reported that Singapore's government is closely tracking a new wave of COVID-19 infections in the Republic after the estimated count of weekly cases nearly doubled in the week ended May 11th. 11th. Dr. Zulkifli also said Malaysia's recorded COVID-19 cases had risen by 14.8% to 1,230 cases in the week from May 12th to 18th. However, he stressed that no deaths related to COVID-19 have been reported since April 25th. He assured that the ministry will continue to monitor the situation and the national health system is prepared for any surge in cases, while reminding the public to remain vigilant in preventing the spread of COVID-19. Developing nations have been urged to strengthen their collaboration to provide mutual support for each other's economic growth. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said in the context of Malaysia-Uzbekistan relations, both countries should leverage their respective strengths to enhance trade and investment ties. In a post on his Facebook page on Sunday, Anwar said although countries such as Malaysia and Uzbekistan are highly dependent on investments from large nations, the future of both nations depends very much on the ability to develop its own strengths. Anwar, who is on a 3-day official visit to Uzbekistan, led the Malaysian delegation in the Uzbekistan-Malaysia High-Level Business Forum, along with the leadership from Uzbekistan helmed by Deputy Prime Minister Jamshid Khojaev. The forum was attended by more than 200 industry personalities and heads of companies from various sectors in Malaysia and Uzbekistan. In his speech at the forum, Anwar expressed confidence in potential Malaysia-Uzbekistan collaborations in various sectors, including oil and gas, engineering, electrical and electronics, as well as halal and Islamic finance, in addition to new areas such as digital technology and artificial intelligence. The Prime Minister also said he is of the view that companies in Malaysia can learn from Uzbekistan's ability to bring about changes, modernization and economic progress within a short time frame. As part of his visit, Anwar also witnessed 6 memoranda of understanding MOU exchanges between Malaysia and Uzbekistan relating to cooperation between both countries in various fields. Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation (MATRADE) and the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Uzbekistan signed an MOU to strengthen and develop trade promotion cooperation between Malaysia and Uzbekistan, as well as to exchange trade information. Another MOU signed involved the installation of solar panels for social organisation buildings and government offices in Uzbekistan. Meanwhile, University Malaysia Sarawak UNIMAS and Tashkent State University of Economics plan to collaborate in the education sector, especially to jointly develop collaborative programs and provide opportunities and support for students in their professional and career development. The government has allocated 1.5 billion ringgit for rural development in Sarawak under the 12th Malaysia Plan 12MP. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said the very significant allocation was to facilitate the planning and implementation of various efforts to create competitive rural communities and improve their quality of life. Ahmad Zahid, who is also the Rural and Regional Development Minister, said the allocation given by his ministry is an amendable plan in the 12MP.
Kami telah memperuntukkan 1.5 bilion ringgit sebagai rolling plan dan ini akan memudahkan perencanaan dan juga pelaksanaan pelbagai upaya untuk mencipta masyarakat yang kompetitif dan meningkatkan kualiti hidup di negeri Sarawak ini.
Ahmad Zahid said this at the pre-Gawai celebration in Sarike on Sunday. He added that among the focus areas are bridge construction, provision of electricity and clean water, as well as telecommunication services. For this year's Gawai celebration, he prayed for more development in Sarawak. However, he emphasized that for this to happen, political stability, unity and racial harmony must be maintained. In the meantime, Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg stressed that a mechanism to effectively control inflation must be established to ensure workers can fully benefit from any wage increase. The Sarawak Premier, who made this call on Sunday, said that any wage increase announced by the government or the private sector is meaningless if that only leads to a sudden increase in the prices of goods and services. Speaking to the media after a function in Kuching, Sarawak on Sunday, the Premier said that the nation's economic policy must be balanced and banks should provide their input as inflation results from too much money in the market chasing too few goods.
Mesti ada satu mekanisme untuk mengawal inflasi, sementara itu kita menaikkan gaji. Kita tidak mau naik gaji, tapi in terms of purchasing power is the same. Jadi tak ada manfaat. Sebab itu kalau pihak kerajaan persekutuan, khususnya Bank Negara dengan Kementerian Kewangan, hendaklah melihat implikasi berapa persentage kenaikan dan juga apa implikasinya kepada aliran wang di dalam pasaran.
He noted that if interest rates are raised, the flow of money in the market will be reduced and the supply of goods will decrease. Abang Johari said that he had instructed State Secretary Dato' Amar Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki to conduct a detailed study concerning the wage increase for the state civil servants, which the private sector usually follows depending on their financial ability. He said in Sarawak, a study will be conducted on wage increase based on productivity, adding that the state government emphasises skill and talent development, where high-skilled jobs based on skill and talent development are created. The pay, according to him, is higher if people have the skills. A new initiative known as Satu Rumah, Satu Jalur Gemilang has been launched to boost the spirit of patriotism among Malaysians in conjunction with this year's National Day and Malaysia Day. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadil said encouraging Malaysians to proudly fly the Jalur Gemilang at home is important as the flag symbolises the country's independence and unity.
Saya ingin mengingatkan semua untuk mengibarkan jalur gemilang yang sempurna, iaitu bendera yang tidak koyak, tidak uzur, tidak lusuh, kerana ia adalah gambaran diri kita sebagai warga negara bertanggungjawab dan cintakan negara.
The minister said this in his speech at the launch of the Ekspresi Bulan Kebangsaan program in Kuala Lumpur on Sunday. He added that the program would kick off the National Day and Malaysia Day celebrations. Fahmi said that the program will be conducted simultaneously in Penampang Sabah and Kuching, Sarawak. He said various programs would be held throughout the month, including national exhibitions, artistic performances, photo booths and children's colouring contests. Fahmi also reminded Malaysians to be careful what they share on social media. Seputih Member of Parliament Teresa Kok received a death threat in the form of a letter which was sent to her house along with 2 bullets. The veteran lawmaker said she found the items inside her mailbox on Saturday night and has lodged a police report regarding the discovery. Sharing about the incident in a Facebook post, Cox said that she found the envelope upon checking her mailbox over the weekend. She further expressed her bewilderment over why she had received such a threatening letter. She then lodged a report at the Petaling police station. Thanking the police for their swift action, Cox also mentioned that they have since inspected the mailbox. Meanwhile, City Police Chief Datuk Rusdi Muhammad Isa confirmed that police received a report about the incident at around 9 p.m. on Saturday. He said the case is being investigated for criminal intimidation by anonymous communication. He also advised the public not to speculate on the case as it may disrupt the investigation, adding that the police views the matter seriously. Indonesia evacuates hundreds near erupting volcano. News from the foreign front after this breather.
Ikan lumah tu diambil, disiang dan dibungkus dengan satu daun. Nama daun tu daun seniah. Dia rebus selama 8 jam. Bila dia siap benda tu je, ikan tu dia jadi lembut habis.
Tujuan pembuatannya bagi mengenang pelayaran Laksamana Cheng Ho. Ilham hadir ketika pemilik kapal Funing ini melawat tempat bersejarah tokoh itu di Melaka ketika dahulu. Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Apa kita ni? Man. Mana nak awak? Man. Tak ada rasa. Apa macam ni nak tahu?
Terlampau banyaklah kita kesan parut luka lama.
Salah.
Sebagai seorang yang normal, buat macam gitu, sampai saya rasa macam bukan manusia.
Kanak-kanak lelaki berusia 7 tahun disyaki menjadi mangsa dera 2 wanita.
Cik tak mau duduk lah situ, cik nak balik.
Kejadian jenayah yang menggemparkan negara.
Payah tarik anak kita tak apa. Patut pun jenis roya-roya tu. Buat ibu. Orang hari lah lagi tengok anak kita letak dalam kereta.
Buka je nampak beg duit dengan cincin ada atas meja. Kita tak hati. Saksikan 40 jenayah gempar dalam 999 sepanjang Mei dan Jun ini di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We're back with foreign news. A volcano on the remote Indonesian island of Halmahera has spectacularly erupted, spewing grey ash clouds into the sky and forcing people from 7 nearby villages to be evacuated. According to Indonesia's volcanology agency, Mount Ibu, which erupted at 8:34 local time on Saturday evening, sent ash 4 kilometers high as streaks of purple lightning flashed around its crater. The National Disaster Mitigation Agency, BNPB, reported that more than 400 residents of the West Halmahera district, North Maluku, were evacuated, and those evacuated were residents of 7 villages in the district, among others, Gam Ichi and Tongte Ternate village. Currently, rescuers were still gathering data and identities of residents who live in a radius of 7 kilometers from Mount Ibu's crater following the exclusion zone. A tourist couple was injured in India's Kashmir after militants fired on them late on Saturday night ahead of voting scheduled in the volatile region during India's ongoing election. According to officials, the couple from the Indian city of Jaipur was evacuated to the hospital, and the area where the attack took place has been cordoned off. The condition of the injured tourists is said to be stable. In a separate incident, unknown militants shot dead former village headman and Bharatiya Janata Party BJP party member Ajiaz Ahmad Sheikh in Shopian district on Saturday. India is in the middle of a marathon election, with the remaining 2 seats in Kashmir going to polls on May 20th and 25th. Tech billionaire Elon Musk and Indonesian Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin launched SpaceX's satellite internet service for the nation's health sector on Sunday, aiming to improve access in remote parts of the sprawling archipelago. The satellite was launched at 3 Indonesian health centers, including 2 in Bali and 1 on the remote island of Aru in Maluku. According to Musk, the availability of the Starlink service in Indonesia would help millions in far-flung parts of the country, which is home to more than 270 million people and 3 different time zones, to access the internet. The tech tycoon was also scheduled to meet Indonesian President Joko Widodo on Monday, where he will also address the World Water Forum taking place on the island. In Taiwan, Coast Guards have ramped up patrols over the weekend amid increased presence of Chinese vessels on the eve of Lai Ching-te's inauguration as the island's new president. According to Taipei's National Defense Ministry, it had detected 7 Chinese aircraft and 7 vessels around the island in the 24-hour period leading up to Sunday morning. Meanwhile, the nation's Coast Guard administration in a statement said it had sent out personnel to patrol continuously around Kinmen, Matsu and Penghu Islands in order to ensure the security of the sea area and border safety during the formal ceremony. Lai, detested by Beijing as a separatist, is expected to pledge to secure stability by maintaining the status quo in the island's relationship with China in his inauguration speech on Monday. Wins first title of the season. Sports where Nightline comes back.
Apa kita win? Man. Mana anak awak? Man. Apa macam ni anak kau?
Terlampau banyaklah kita kesan parut luka lama.
Salah. Sebagai seorang yang normal buat macam gitu, sampai saya rasa macam bukan manusia.
Kanak-kanak lelaki berusia 7 tahun disyaki menjadi mangsa dera 2 wanita.
Kita mau duduk lah situ, kita nak balik.
Ikan lumah tu diambil, disiang dan dibungkus dengan satu daun. Nama daun tu daun seniah. Dia rebus selama 8 jam. Bila dia siap benda tu je, ikan tu dia jadi lembut habis.
Tujuan pembuatannya bagi mengenang pelayaran Laksamana Cheng Ho. Ilham hadir ketika pemilik kapal Funing ini melawat tempat bersejarah tokoh itu di Melaka ketika dahulu. Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We are back now with sports. Badminton, the 2024 Thailand Open, national top men's singles shuttler Lee Zee-jia produced a smashing performance to bag his first title of the season when he trounced Hong Kong's Angus Ng Ka Long in the final on Sunday. The 26-year-old Kedahan easily took down Angus with a 21-11 score in the first game before storming through the second to win 21-10 in just 34 minutes. The victory was Zee-jia's first tournament win for 2024 and second Thailand Open win after the 2022 edition title. The last time the world number 10 won an international title was at the Arctic Open in Finland last year. Moving on to football and the Super League, 2 matches were played on Sunday night. Terengganu FC had to be satisfied with a share of points after they were held to a goalless draw by Penang FC. At the Sarawak State Stadium, Sri Pahang FC were held to a 2-2 draw by Kuching City FC. Cheche Kipre gave Kuching the lead 19 minutes into the game before Jordan Minta extended their lead in the first half's added time. 2 goals in the second half from Adam Nur Azlin and Manuel Hidalgo gave Sri Pahang the much-needed 1 point. Tennis now, the 2024 Italian Open. World number 1 Iga Swiatek brushed aside Aryna Sabalenka in straight sets to claim the Rome title. The 22-year-old Pole needed just 1 hour and 29 minutes to ease to a 6-2, 6-3 victory over her Belarusian opponent on the clay to claim the crown for the 3rd time in 4 years. Swiatek broke to love in the 3rd game to give herself the advantage in the first set. The second set, however, proved far more testing, with Swiatek having to save 7 break points before her opponent succumbed to hand her a 4-3 lead, which ultimately proved decisive. With her win, the world number 1 also became the first woman since Serena Williams in 2013 to win on the clay surface at Madrid and Rome in the same season. Up next, a drunk man nabbed for trying to snatch cop's gun. Don't go away.
Ikan lumah tu diambil, disiang dan dibungkus dengan satu daun. Nama daun tu daun seniah. Dia rebus selama 8 jam. Bila dia siap benda tu je, ikan tu dia jadi lembut habis.
Tujuan pembuatannya bagi mengenang pelayaran Laksamana Cheng Ho. Ilham hadir ketika pemilik kapal Funing ini melawat tempat bersejarah tokoh itu di Melaka ketika dahulu. Stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Wah, sebut saja nama buah ni dah terliur kemanisan mangga harum manis dan mangga harum kemboja.
Yes, isu pokok tumbang meredupkan persekitaran kawasan ataupun mengancam keselamatan orang awam.
Skam cinta, macam-macam taktik terbaru untuk mendapatkan wang dan kepuasan.
Soal wang, kita bercakap tentang akaun KWSP yang ketiga, keluar atau simpan.
Segalanya di MHI jam 9.30 hingga 10.30 pagi.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Kejadian jenayah yang menggemparkan negara.
Payah tarik anak kita tak apa. Patut buat jenis roya-roya tu. Buat ibu. Orang lagi lah lagi tengok anak kita letak dalam kereta.
Buka je nampak beg duit dengan cincin ada atas meja. Kita tak ada hati.
Saksikan 40 jenayah gempar dalam 999 sepanjang Mei dan Jun ini di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
We are back on Nightline. Now, prostate cancer is the 3rd most common cancer among men. Often referred to as a silent killer, efforts must be taken by all walks of life to raise awareness on the seriousness of this disease. Our intern journalist, Aiman Naim, who joins a group of motorcyclists in promoting the awareness, files in this report.
According to the Global Cancer Observatory 2023, there were 2,360 cases of prostate cancer reported, with the death toll reaching over 1,050. This number is expected to double in the coming years. And in an effort to raise awareness on the disease, motorcyclists donned their finest attire and rev up their motorcycles to join a riot campaign organised by a group known as the Throttle Riot. The ride, which was from Mont Kiara Sport Complex to Balai Seni Negara, saw more than 700 motorcyclists spreading information on the prostate cancer and preventive measures that can be taken.
Of course, in Malaysia, there are lack of information about men's mental health and prostate cancer. So the reason why we create this event to create more awareness and increase awareness about men's mental health and prostate cancer. So all the riders will be wearing a diaper, not just wearing diaper for good looks actually. So basically, we will be right from point to point to create awareness to the public what is the right about.
The campaign has managed to collect 30,000 ringgit, which will be donated to charities for research purpose on prostate cancer.
This event really boosts people focus to men's. So kind of interesting effort for the founder and for the organizer as well. So I mean, this is good opportunity to raise the awareness for others. So we ride not only for ride, we do charity as well, which is really good.
We are right with purpose. We hope that we can continue the research of this prostate cancer and also give awareness to all about the men's mental health. And we do hope that today's event can be an eye-opener to all, so that everyone can support that. Maybe next year we can have more and more riders to join this.
Prostate cancer accounts for almost 1/6 of male cancer, making it the most common form of the disease in more than half the world's nation. Therefore, improved outreach programs are needed to better inform people of the key signs to look out for and what to do next. And that's exactly what these bikers here did today. Might be a small effort for some, but for others, this kind of event could be an eye-opener. Aiman Naim for Nightline, TV3.
The 35-year-old man who tried to snatch in an MP5 submachine gun from a policeman at a police station in Pulau Pinang in the wee hours of Sunday was under the influence of alcohol. State Police Chief Datuk Hamzah Ahmad said police later obtained a 4-day remand order on the man to facilitate investigations. Hamzah said this following the 4 a.m. incident at the Datuk Kramat police station where policemen on duty were approached by a man under the influence of alcohol who ordered them to open the gate while uttering profanities. Police personnel gave him a warning and advised him to leave the compound, but the suspect refused and instead moved towards them and tried to snatch the machine gun but failed. The suspect then took his helmet and tried to attack the policeman, which led to a scuffle before he was apprehended. Checks showed the 35-year-old suspect has a criminal record with 2 previous entries for drug-related offences and another 2 for other crimes. However, a urine test came back negative for drug use. The case is being probed under Sections 353 and 506 of the Penal Code and Section 90 of the Police Act. Now, as we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look as South Korea held a sleeping competition at Yeouido-han River Park in Seoul to help citizens relax and experience the fun of taking a nap outdoors. Now, I know I'd win that competition. With that, I'm Azaria Tagaya. Thank you so much for watching and we'll catch you next time.